Yo, what's up? I haven't posted in a while. School is coming in, including today, 2 days. So yeah, don't expect me to post for a while. Um, because school. I didn't have the best sixth grade ever. I slacked off. I was lazy. I had my headphones in with my hoodie on most of the time, so I didn't listen to most of the stuff. So I'm kind of scared. But yeah, so we're gonna get into this. So I'm gonna name this Uzumaki Chronicles. But in hindsight, it's gonna be what if Naruto had the secrets of the Uzumaki clan, or what if Naruto was born and raised in the Uzumaki clan. So we're gonna get right into it. P.S. This is my second time recording, so if I rush it a bit, don't blame me. But yeah, so we go to an island. And in this island, we hear screaming. This is the screaming of a new to be mother. This mother's name was Kushina Uzumaki. Who is the father, you may ask? His name is Minato Namikaze. So, Kushina had been. How am I going to say this? I forgot how I was going to say it. Kushina had been imported from Uzushiho Gakure, the village hidden in the whirlpools, because of her special bloodline, the ability to control the Bijou, and also her status as the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox due to Konoha's and Uzushiho's long-lasting alliance. She was also the Uzumaki clan heir. She was the daughter of the head of the Uzumaki clan. The original and first Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox, Mito Uzumaki, the first Hokage's wife, gave this burden to Kukushina because she was dying. It had been an eventful life, but eventually Kushina and Minato decided to have a baby. They also got married. Kushina let out one final scream, and Naruto was officially born. He had da- he had dark red hair, piercing blue eyes, and three whisker marks on each of his cheeks. This was a side effect from Kushina being the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Minato tried to touch the baby, but his hand was slapped away by Kushina's mother, aka the wife of the Uzumaki clan head, aka Minato's stepmother. Also, a mother that was like a girl that was like a mother to Minato. Since Minato was orphaned, his parents had died in the Second Shinobi World War. So, uh, her, I'm gonna make a random name. Sarah. Let's call the clan head's wife Sarah. Sarah told him that the mother gets to see the child first. And Minato pouted a bit at this, but he went over to Kushina and helped her take Naruto. And Kushina look at Naruto and say that he is beautiful. So we are now going to skip about 4 years. Minato right now was back in Konoha, but he was making his way to Uzushiho as we speak, and he was almost there, mind you. So Kushina and Naruto were playing. Naruto trying to find Kushina. It's also a form of training to help his sensory skills, since Kushina wasn't trying to hide her presence too much. So, while Naruto was trying to find her, he would hear a banging on the door, and the door would be broken down. Kushina would hear this and get out of her hiding spot and ask what's happening. Then Shinobi would walk in. Shinobi from the cloud. And this Shinobi were Zaku of the Storm and Kazu of the Rain. These were two A rank, bordering on S rank when they fight together, ninja. Why they were here, you ask? They were here to obtain the Jinchuriki. News had gotten out from a trader Uzumaki that the Jinchuriki's child, the Jinchuriki that they failed to capture, had a child. They were going to obtain that child, then negotiate, I meant negotiate her into coming to Kuma with them. So they would take Naruto. Mind you, he's only 4 years old. He has some physical conditioning done, but he hasn't had any training yet. So Naruto would yell for his mom to save him, and Kushina about to step in, but then Kazu holds a knife to Naruto's throat. Naruto would see this, and he would freeze. So Kushina would stop, as Zaku would say, take another step, and we kill him. Kushina would be mad, but she couldn't do anything because he was threatening her child. And the only thing that she cared about that was equal to her child was her husband. Her mother and father were definitely up there too. So Kushina couldn't do anything, and Kazu would say, "You either come to the cloud with us, or we kill your child." And Kushina, not wanting Naruto to die, and knowing that Minato was coming, would comply with them. But Naruto bites Kazu's hand, and Kazu releases Naruto. Naruto would then punch Kazu in the balls, because he knew that was a man's weak spot. Why does he know this? Because Kushina's kicked Naruto in the balls a couple times, because she thought he was being an idiot. So, yeah. So, Kazu would fall on the floor and say, "This little shit's pretty strong." And it would take a while for him to get up. Zaku, seeing this, would kick Naruto in the face, and Kushina would scream, "Naruto!" Her eyes would then turn slitted, her fingernails would grow longer and sharper, her hair would go up, and she would go feral. She would attack the missing Nin, but the chakra also hit Naruto, and the chakra also alerted Minato to where they were. Now, the third Shinobi War had not happened yet. And Minato wasn't that good with his Hydration. He could do it, and he could apply it in battle, but he didn't have as much chakra as he had, and he couldn't get very far. Like, he can go from the leaf to the sand, and if he did, he would take most of his chakra reserves. So yeah, um, or he would sense the QB chakra, and he would immediately flash there. Now back to it. When Kushina was running towards them, some of actually some of the QB chakra hit Naruto, but for some odd reason it didn't burn him. He actually absorbed it. Now, if any of you have read Ludicity, that's not where I'm going with this. If you know what I mean, um, or have watched Spanish Mythology and Jerky, I'm not going that route. Or have watched Born in the Uzumaki Clan, I'm kind of going that route, but it's not going to be as dark, and Uzumaki Clan is not going to get destroyed. Um, but that is a story for another day. So Naruto would actually absorb this chakra, and he would crash out. Now, Kushina, about to bring hell on these two for hurting her sweet baby boy, Minato would come, and he would quickly assess the situation, and he would call her Kushina to calm down. Kushina, hearing her husband's voice, would look, and the Nine-Tailed chakra would slowly start receding back into her. Gazu and Zaku, being scared out of their minds, had already fainted from seeing Kushina. So yeah, they're knocked out right now. So we're now going to go to Naruto's perception. Naruto would wake up in a sewer, and he would not know where he would be. So he would walk around asking if anyone's here, and he would get no reply. So he would keep walking around until he'd eventually find a cage with bars and a tape that had the kanji for seal. And he would go up to it and say, "Is anyone there?" Two piercing red eyes with slits in the middle of them would come out, and it showed the nine-tailed fox in all its glory. Naruto wouldn't be afraid, but more shocked, more like shock fear, I guess. The Nine Tails would ask him, "How did you get in here?" And Naruto says he didn't know. He told him in a childish like tone that his mom just got really scary, and then she super ran past him, and then he got knocked out. And the Nine Tails would think that some of his chakra got out. Approximately 2 tails worth of it got absorbed out of him. And he can sense the chakra in Naruto. And he wonders how he was able to absorb it. Does he has the same bloodline as his mother? But that only helps him contain and control the Biju. I never heard of anything that could absorb it except for the first Hokage's wood style. And the only way he could do that is to bind it. So, yeah. I'm gonna go from here. So Naruto would ask the fox what's his name, and the fox um says his name was Kurama. And all of a sudden Kurama senses that some of his chakra is altering Naruto's genetics, not on like a way that his whole genetics will change, but for some reason it just feels different. And the fox would wonder why this is. Naruto would start fainting, and he would freak out, not knowing what this is, but Kurama just says that you're waking up and you're coming out of here. And Naruto says that he hopes you'll meet again. And the fox kind of smiles and says, I'd like that. Oh, oh, thank God. Oh, God. Oh, my phone almost turned off. And I did not want that to happen. 16? No, we can go for more. So, Naruto would be waking up, and you hear his mother's voice screaming at him to wake up. And Naruto would wake up, and he'd ask, why are you screaming? And Kushina, being worried, would hug Naruto and ask him if he's alright. And Naruto would say he's fine. He would get up, and then he'd see his dad, and he'd go run and hug him. And Minato would ask him if he's okay too. And Naruto said yes. He decided not to tell them about Kurama because he didn't know that his mom had it. So he decided to keep it a secret because he didn't know, and he thought keeping it a secret would be cool. He'd be super secretive. So, they, a few hours later, they'd be eating dinner. And the guards of Uzushi Hagakure would have come in and already have taken them away. By them, I mean the two brothers to the T&I department. So Minato would ask him if he's ready to go to Konoha tomorrow because Minato and Kushina think it's finally time for Naruto to go to the Hidden Leaf Village. So Naruto, being excited, would say yes, 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 and stuff. So Minato and Kushina would be happy. So they would be going in about 3 weeks. And Minato and Kushina would have a talk that night and say that they need to train Naruto more. Because if something like that happens, and Naruto is alone, anything could happen. And Kushina would say yes. But they didn't know it, but both of them thought at the same time, we'll never let anything happen to my son ever again. So Naruto would be going to sleep that night, and he would appear back in his mindscape again. So Naruto, but this time he would wake up right by Kurama's cage, and Kurama says it's about time you woke up. Naruto would be like, Kurama, why am I here? And Kurama says, I don't know. You just came here. And Naruto would be like, huh, interesting. Kurama would say, Naruto, I think we should talk. Naruto asks about what? And Naruto says, I think you have two bloodlines. One of these bloodlines being the chakra chains, which Naruto already knows about. But Naruto would not know about the second one, and he would ask, what? Now, Kurama would sigh and saying, when your mother was attacking those bad shinobi people, saying it so a child can understand it. So, and Naruto would nod. Some of my chakra hit you, approximately 2 taels worth of it. And Naruto would nod again. For some reason, he can understand it. So, when my chakra hit you, it would usually burn or give people chakra poisoning or chakra burns. But something strange happened. You absorbed the chakra and it changed your DNA. Not to the point where your mother is no longer your mother and your father is no longer your father. But it was like it awakened hidden DNA in you. It also allowed your body to adjust to my chakra and actually produce more of it. Basically, Naruto right now has about 1.5 taels of chakra. He can produce more of it. Of course, Kurama would have to comply to this, and they have to work out a deal, but that'll come in the future. So Kurama would tell him that his bloodline is, I'm going to be ending it for this video because I'm gonna think of what his bloodline should be. So if you liked it, uh, good for you. If you didn't, well,